want to start with a statement and then we'll take it from there.
First of all, I don't have any answers on injuries at all. It's a shame. The running back got hurt. Love watching that young man play. Plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. Our quarterback, we'll see how he is the next couple of days. And then Walker Little, we'll see where Walker is. I don't have any answers to any questions about the injuries right now. But as far as the game goes, typical first game. You expect your defense and you hope your defense keeps you in the game as you find your rhythm on the offensive side. We've got so many veterans on the defensive side, so many fourth and fifth year seniors, so much leadership that we knew it was going to take those guys keeping us in the game, and they did. Bunch of stops, bunch of third down stops, got turnovers. Our big-time players made big-time plays. Paulson, Debo, Casey Toohill. Our guys made some big tackles in open space. Jordan Fox. Thought we played much better on the defensive line. We got pressure on the quarterback from the defensive line position, which didn't happen a lot last year. Thought Jovan played well last year, but I think as a group we played better as a unit. Special teams-wise, hey, we don't accept excuses, right? We got the snap, hold, kick. We're one of the best kickers in America. We got to get the snap, we got to get the hold, we got to get the protection, and we got to get the kick. Got to come away with points every time that group goes on the field. The return game, excited about our returners. We've got our receivers involved in the return game. We decided to keep Cam Scarlett out of that because of our health as a running back. We knew he was going to have to carry the load for us, so we took him, and he loves kickoff return. We had to take him off of that. But between Mike Wilson and Connor Weddington, I think we have two guys back there that are not just guys that go back there and catch it. They're guys that can break. So we have to stay on our blocks, give those guys creases. We got a chance to make plays. And with Mike as a punt returner, same thing. Thought our coverage units did pretty well. Got some nice kickoffs. Got a young punter that we think is going to be outstanding. Had a couple of missed hits today, but we'll stay with him and continue to push him and know that he's going to be better than average. We think he's going to be outstanding. So we're going to stay with him and help him continue to grow. Coach Alomar does a great job with those guys. Offensively, there's no mistake about it. Said in the press conference, been saying it since the end of game last year, the end of our bowl game last year. We have to run the ball better. And against an outstanding run defense, we did. We were physical up front. We weren't perfect, but we stayed on guys and we pushed guys and we gave our running backs a crease. And multiple times today, and I give Cam Scarlett credit because we challenged him after the bowl game last year. Multiple times today, we had a running back one-on-one with a guy in space. And last year, we didn't get enough yards. Outside of Bryce Love, we didn't get enough yards. But you saw it today with Cam Scarlett and Dorian Maddox. Guys one-on-one in space, making guys miss, breaking tackles. That's working hard in the offseason. That's really pushing yourself. That's listening to the critique from a year ago and saying, well, we have to get better. We can't block everything perfectly, especially against a really good big physical defense. Not always going to be perfect. We know the running backs will run through the trash. I thought we did that today from the running back position. Quarterback-wise, including both quarterbacks, I thought both quarterbacks for the most part played well. I know there's two throws in the first half KJ would love to have back. Big opportunities to make big plays. We hit those plays, and the game's probably not as close as it was at the end. We've got big receivers, we've got speed receivers, we've got guys that can make big plays. Our tight ends can make plays down the field. We've got to take advantage of those. We missed a couple. Second half, too many turnovers. Fumbled the ball twice. Davis Mills is a great athlete as well as being a great quarterback, but he's a young quarterback, and we can't put the ball on the ground. The first one, it's a read play. If he pulls it, we probably get about somewhere between 8 to 10 yards. The last one that we fumbled, if he pulls it, he might score a touchdown. They blitzed everybody. If he pulls the ball with one receiver blocking one defensive back, he's got a chance to run and go to the touchdown, go score a touchdown. So those are learning experiences for a young quarterback. Once again, I have no answer on who's going to be healthy enough to play next week. So all I know is we're not going to change our game plan based on who plays quarterback. I think all of our quarterbacks can run our stuff, so we're just going to game plan for the Trojans. Questions? I have no comment on the targeting review. I didn't see the video clip of it, and I didn't see it happen live.
Coach, you talked really all offseason about perfecting fundamentals, about getting really good at what you guys want to get good at. Game one, how would you evaluate offense and defense in that regard?
Defensively, without watching the film, thought I'd probably give us somewhere around a B+. I really do. Guys were in their gaps, physical against the run. Quarterback run gets you sometimes. They have an athletic quarterback and everybody's accounted for. They did a really good job mixing those in. But for the most part, I thought we played really well. Special teams wise, B- probably. Just that we could have played so much better. We need the proper snap, hold, kick. We need the proper punts. But for the most part, I thought we played well, but we can play so much better. Offensively, a run game, I'd say B+. Pass game, I'd say B-, C+. We completed the ones that were good, right? We were in rhythm. We hit our guys. The guys made plays after the catch. We said at the end of last year we want to be better. Run after catch. We were that today. Throw some quick balls out there. Let some guys make, some guys miss and go. But for us to be who we want to be, with runs and play actions, we got to hit the big ones. If they give us an opportunity to hit the big ones, we got to hit the big ones. And they were there to be hit, and we didn't hit them. So it was a tighter game than it should have been.
You mentioned your running backs. Could we see more from Dorian to take the pressure off Scarlett going forward?
Absolutely. We'll continue to see Dorian roll in there and play. Dorian missed some training camp also. He's a little banged up, so he's only really been back for about a week and a half or so. Hopefully, as he continues to get fresh and get healthy, I think we have an outstanding 1-2 punch between those two guys. They're both guys that can run, both guys that can pass protect, and both guys that can catch. So really, Dorian's going to help us have a healthy Cam Scarlett, hopefully for the whole year, because those guys will be able to rotate in and out and keep each other healthy.
You've praised the maturity of this team all through the offseason. Can you just take us from when Northwestern scored and it was 10-7, how you closed it out, kind of both what you saw on the sideline and what you saw on the field in terms of maturity?
It's one of the things that you want as a coach. When things are difficult, I don't have to turn into Newt Rockney, right? I don't have to do all the talking. The talking should come from the players. The talking should come from the coaches relating to their guys about what we need to do next. And there's no sense of panic. There's a sense of, hey, we haven't played well enough, so they're still in the game. So let's go out there and play better. The fourth quarter chatter I thought was outstanding. Guys were positive. Guys were pushing each other. Guys were trying to go out there and excel. Our players are having ideas, right? I've talked to the coaches in the offseason, and I want our guys to know our stuff so well that they have suggestions, right? Hey, coach, we're doing this, but they may be giving us this, right? Maybe we can rush this way. So we can have that dialogue. It's not negative. It's actually really positive. It means they're seeing the game with the coaches. I think we have great dialogue because of our leadership, because of our age and experience, because of our guys, their unselfish nature, trying to push each other, trying to help each other. And nothing makes you happier than when a guy makes a play, a guy at his own position is the first guy off the bench to celebrate with him. I saw that happen a lot today. Our guys are invested. Our guys are working really hard. Now we got to clean up a lot of things because we have another big test next week.
Coach, if I could just follow up on that. After the turnover, the second one by Davis, did you have to say anything to him just knowing that he's going to have to go out there and probably lead a drive that could seal the game?
I didn't need to say much to Davis. I gave him a coaching point in a nice way. But I've told Davis this since we started recruiting him. He's probably the one guy on the team that has the exact same mentality as I do. Exact same personality, exact same kind of, even keel. Some people see that as positive, some people don't. But he was upset at himself, but not too upset. Knew what he needed to do better. I had no problem throwing him back out there. He knew what to do. He made two big mistakes. Made two big mistakes that he'll learn from. But if he's got to play next week, we're not going to pare the offense down. He knows what to do, and he's got the skills to go out there and play. And threw some beautiful balls today, right? The one down the seam to Colby was a heck of a throw. That fastball outside of Michael Wilson, that's not a throw a lot of college quarterbacks can make. And he just stepped into it and flicked it. So this guy can make all the throws. He's athletic enough to get out and scramble for some first downs, for positive yards. So if KJ's healthy, KJ will go back out there. He's our starter. He's our leader. He's our captain. If he's not healthy, we have all the faith and confidence that Dave's can go out there and win the game.
Coach, any surprise factor that Paulson was put in the position to make plays, and then is there any surprise anymore about what he can do?
No. Guy's a top-tier defensive back. And there are certain guys that you worry about saying that early in the season, his junior year. I don't worry about Paulson. Paulson's one of the hardest working guys on this team. He's one of the hardest guys on himself on our football team. He demands excellence from himself. So sometimes you have to make sure that you get him to take some air out of the balloon, because if he doesn't make a play, he gets so angry, he's so upset at himself. But this guy's focused, he's locked in. I don't anticipate over the course of the year him having a chance to make a lot of plays. I do believe most balls will go to the other side. But I know that he's going to be willing. He's going to be patient. He's going to know his job and do it really well. And if he gets opportunities, he's going to deflect some. If he gets too many opportunities, he's going to intercept them.
You talked a little bit about the run game, but how encouraging was it, especially late in the game when they knew you had to run and you were able to get that first down and run out at least most of the clock during that stretch?
So our honorary captain is Chris Marinelli. Some of you that have been here for a while know Chris started quite a few years for us. Was one of the first leaders we had when we got here with Coach Harbaugh in 2007. And not only was he a founding member of the Tunnels Workers Union, he was the founder. It was his idea. It was him bringing it from his father's experience in Boston as a tunnel worker. And he talked to the guys about the mentality of doing the dirty work, about being physical. And he talked to the entire team, but he spent a lot of time with the offensive line. Coach Carberry's done a great job this entire offseason with that group. And Chris came in and kind of put the cherry on the top today. And as we got into the fourth quarter, you started to hear guys talking about the union. You know, let's put it on the union, put it on the guys up front. They know we're running it. We know we're being physical. And Chris, put something in their heads about those years we started really churning with Stephon, with Toby Gerhardt, with Tyler Gaffney. As we were really getting good at running the football, there's a lot of pride we have when the defense knows we're running it, and we still run it, and we still get a first down. And we still get 7 yards. We still get 6 yards. We still get 4 yards. We bleed the clock. We run the clock out. I asked a question earlier in the week about rush versus pass. And if you throw the ball well and smartly, which I think we could have thrown the ball better in the first half, then you run the ball in the second half. And if you're good at running it, you're going to end up with kind of lopsided stats. But for most of the second half, we got a 2-score lead, and then a 1-score lead with less than 4 minutes to go, less than 3 minutes to go. We're going to run the ball, and if we can get a first down, they're not going to have time to score. So it's kind of the law of diminishing returns as far as the clock is concerned. We keep the clock churning, make them take their timeouts, try to impose our will on the defense, and hopefully we can finish the ball game.
You've had seasons where you've had to kind of make it work with a skeleton crew on the defensive line. Can you just talk about today, the fact that you had a pretty legit D-line rotation going, and how much of a difference that made for you guys?
It's huge. It's huge. Jovan Swan has had an outstanding offseason, as has Michael Williams. Those were two of our leaders, our seniors in that defensive line room. Both those guys played well today. I don't know how many stats they had, but they played well. But the guys you commend, Thomas Booker, we'll see how he is health-wise, but Thomas had a great offseason, and he's a playmaker. He's got a chance to be really, really good. He's made some growth. But where we needed the growth was the guys behind him. Tomas Schaffer came in and made some plays today, played well. Dalen Wade Perry made some plays. We need those guys to continue to come on so we can rotate those guys so everybody can stay fresh. I know Dalen got hit on the quarterback. Tomas had some really nice pressure in the running game, splitting guys and pushing guys back. So we need to be deep there so we can rotate those guys and keep them fresh.
Northwestern remained pretty quiet about who their quarterback would be. How did you prepare for both coming into today's game?
Didn't even think about it. Didn't think about it. Didn't really care who's going to play quarterback for them. We knew they're going to run their offense. Both guys are decent athletes, so we knew there was going to be some element of quarterback run into it. They probably ran the ball with the quarterback a little bit more than we had anticipated. I think we made some adjustments there in the second half. But for the most part, we didn't spend a moment thinking about it because it's more important that we focus on our defense than who they have playing quarterback.
Yeah, I thought one of the keys to victory was the run after catch ability of Weddington and Wilson. I don't recall you having some receivers that can do that. That's going to be a big benefit.
I choose my words wisely here, because when I answer questions like that in the wrong way, I get a lot of text messages and phones from former receivers. So when we had Ty Montgomery, right, Ty was a really good down the field receiver, but also really built like a running back, get the ball in his hands quickly. And that's what Connor Weddington, his background is being a running back. So we got the ball quickly to him a couple times, but then also he's a good down the field receiver. Now, Mike Wilson is a complete receiver as well. Great route runner, very physical after the catch, both good punt returners and kickoff returners. So we wanted to make sure we took some pressure off the quarterback, so we still want to take our shots down the field, but we got to take advantage of those off coverage, give those guys a chance. And we broke a lot of tackles, probably more broken tackles by receivers in this game than we've probably had since we had Ty Montgomery and Doug Baldwin and those guys. But once again, it's also something we've emphasized. We haven't emphasized that as much in the past. When you really like JJ broke some tackles also, but JJ was such a great down the field receiver, we just kept throwing the ball down the field. With this group, we want to be able to do both. Down the field, but also have quick game. It takes so much pressure off the quarterback and the offensive line.
Coach, for 3.5 quarters, it appeared, I know the scoreboard didn't say, but you guys were in complete control of the game, then had to kind of grind it out. What's your hope in terms of building momentum off of this win as you take it next week on the road to USC?
Well, my hope is that we hit those 3 passes that we should have hit, so that instead of 10-0, then it's 17-0 or 24-0 or 28-0. That's what my hope is, to keep the running game, to be physical. But when someone drops safeties down or blitzes, like Northwestern did today, and we pick it up, we have an opportunity down the field one-on-one. Mike Wilson was open down the field. Colby Parkinson was open twice down the field. Osiris, we took one shot. It was kind of a 50-50 ball, probably threw the ball a little too far, but he had another shot down the field, as well as Simi Fahoko. So we've got some guys that can make some plays down the field. We have a chance to take one-on-one matchups down the field we feel are in our favor. So that's the thing for me, is to play as well as we did on defense, play a little bit better in the kicking game, play a lot better on the offense side in the passing game, but also be as physical as we were this game, and even more so as we run the ball the rest of the season. Thank you all.